So I already primed my skin, and today I used my Urban Decay Naked Skin Illuminating Beauty Balm, and then I used some of the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser just to kind of fill or mask my pores through the center of my face. Then for foundation today, I'm going to use my CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous because I feel like having kind of a matte, not dewy look going on today. I'm just going to pump that onto the back of my hand and just, you know, plunk it on like I normally do. Then I'm just going to blend that out with a damp beauty blender, again, like always. Then, since this foundation is so full coverage, I really didn't need to do any concealing, but in a couple of spots, and to do so I used my Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer. And then today, for under eyes and a little bit of highlighting through the center of the face, I'm going to use my MAC Pro Longwear in NC15, which I am starting to run quite low on. Now that I've got that all on and, you know, on and look creepy, I'm going to spray my Beauty Blender with a little bit of Fix Plus and then just blend that out. If you can't tell, I'm going for very full coverage and quite matte today. I'm not really sure what has prompted that, but... So, as you can see, I did quite a bit to my face off of camera because I'm trying to save a little bit of time because I'm actually trying to get ready to go somewhere. So, what I did is I set my under eyes with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, which is a product that I never thought I would run out of, but I think I am very close to being out of this, which, you know, it's expensive. Then I did set the rest of my face very lightly because with the CoverGirl Outlast foundation, I don't really think you need to set it, but I just do because I'm paranoid. So I used my Too Faced Cocoa Powder foundation and a Duo Fiber kind of stippling brush just to very lightly set everything in place. And then I did some light contouring and a little bit of bronzing with my Hoola bronzer from Benefit. That is what it looks like. I've decided that I probably need to use this up because it's almost gone anyway. Then I went back and did quite a heavy contour. You can't really tell because I did blend it out a little bit, but I used my MAC sculpting powder in the shade Sculpt to do so. Then I went back and blended everything with this Duo Fiber brush from Real Techniques just to make sure that everything was smooth and there were no real harsh lines. Then I did my brows and I used my Jordana Fabubrow in medium brown just to kind of define the lower, like this lower line area, and then I filled the rest of them in with my Urban Decay Brow Box in the shade Brown Sugar. And then I set that in place with my Salon Perfect Clear Brow Gel, which really isn't clear anymore at this point. So then for my highlight, I'm going to use my Mary Luminizer from the Balm, again with a smaller Duo Fiber brush, again from Real Techniques. And I'm doing this before blush today, just because that's the look that I'm kind of going for. I don't know. So then for blush today, I'm using this one from MAC. It is called Animal Instincts, and it came out with the A Novel Romance collection, which I'm fairly certain means that it was limited edition. I believe that collection is still out, but I do not know if this blush is still available. I know at my MAC counter, this is sold out. So you might be able to still find it. Your best bet is probably to look online, though. And I'm just using my Real Techniques blush brush to apply this. And I like this blush because it's a frost finish, so it does give kind of like a glow to the face as well. Adds a little bit of color, but still gives this very nice, like, rosy kind of glow. It's very cool, and it's very good for fall. So moving on to eyes, I already primed my lids with my Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I'm going to keep it fairly simple, but very warm toned. So first, I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in Blinged and Brilliant. I think I've used this in like the last 3 tutorials I've posted, but I am really just loving this color. And I'm using a Crown Brush C476 to apply this. I'm just going to pack that on. Then, to kind of act as a transition shade, but just a very warm kind of crease shade, I'm going to use MAC's Uninterrupted eyeshadow, which I think I've used in every tutorial I have posted since I purchased this eyeshadow. And I'm just using a very fluffy brush to kind of run this in the upper crease. As you can see, I'm kind of angling the brush up to keep it off of the lid and keep it more in that upper crease area. And I am bringing it down around onto the outer corner of the lid as well. And then just using the other end of that Crown Brush C476 brush, which is kind of a pointed pencil brush, I'm just going to run this color on the lower lash line as well. Just all the way into the inner corner and all the way out to the outer corner. Then on a little bit smaller of a fluffy brush, I'm going to go into my Amrezi palette and mix the shades Caramel and Morocco together. Getting more caramel than Morocco. And I'm just going to focus that into the crease area. Really buffing it in and really smoking it out. Then on my Real Techniques, I'll just use this. This is a Dome Shadow Brush. I'm going to pick up Morocco only. And I'm going to focus that directly into the crease and just working it back and forth, kind of on the outer half or so. Then just going back in with that fluffy brush with no additional product on it and just buffing that out. And then doing the same thing to the lower lash line, just using the brush that comes in the palette, mixing Caramel and Morocco together. And going about halfway or so on the lower lash line with that. And then just picking up the little bit of just Morocco and keeping that on about the outer half of the lower lash line. Then I'm going to go in with another L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow, and this one is in the shade Smoldering Plum. And I'm going to kind of do what I did in my last tutorial and run this along the lash line, just really pressing it deep into the lashes. And before I forget, I'm going to use the shade Vanilla to highlight my inner corners and my brow bone. Again, just using the brush that comes in the palette. Then, just on the tear duct, I'm going to take a little bit of this color here called Legend, and it is a very pale gold. Just using the same brush, I'm just going to place that right on the tear duct. Then just flipping the brush around to the more kind of tapered crease kind of brush, I'm going to pick up some of the shade Deep Plum, and I'm going to smoke out the lash line where I applied that L'Oreal Smoldering Plum shadow. So just dragging this back and forth pretty much through the lashes, just to keep it as close as possible to the lash line, but to still blend it and smoke it out. And then once I get to the outer corner, I am going to kind of pull it up and out a little bit, just to kind of create a little bit of a flick, but just to really lift the eye a bit. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this on the very outer corner of the lower lash line. Just like that. Then for lips today, first I'm going to use my NYX lip liner in Plum. Apparently this is waterproof. Didn't know that. Just read that on the package. Had this for about a year. Just read that on the package. Anyway, just gonna line my lips with this. So for lipstick, I'm going to use this MAC lipstick in the shade Fixed on Drama. This is a retro matte finish, I believe, because that is the collection that it came out with, I think around this time last year. So this was limited edition, I believe. I do think MAC does a couple other colors like this, but since this is a retro matte finish, it's going to be a little bit more drying than your typical matte finish from MAC. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, sometimes I do find it much more comfortable to wear a lip balm under this finish, but I really like just the way this color comes off, so we're going to wear it. Actually, I believe Kat Von D has a color out that is very similar to this, and I think it's called Homegirl, maybe. Prayer from Kat Von D is actually very similar to this as well. Those are also matte finish lipsticks that I would recommend. They are a little bit drying, but they stay in place all day long. And that is the finished look. I think I'm going to call this Glam Fall Makeup, because this is quite glamorous, quite full on. Love it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.